Now, there's one more program that I'd like to share with you today before we conclude. It's a project that we started working on at the very beginning of this year, and it's a project that we're announcing for the first time today, and it's called the AD Disaster Relief Foundation. A lot of us have become good friends over the years from our time together at these meetings. And when a disaster hits in some part of the country, we want to help our friends. We want to help the folks that live and work there. We want to do something to show them that we care. And so we call and we ask if we can help. But other than offering words of comfort and prayers, what can we really do? We can write a check to the Red Cross or Salvation Army or some other local charities, and that's a good thing. But it's not the same thing as helping our friends and their people in a direct manner. Unfortunately, our beloved government does not make it easy to direct charitable giving, and nor does it make it even without risk for a member to send out a request for help and for donations. Back in October of last year, something happened that got us thinking. There was a major storm in Louisiana. It wasn't a hurricane, it wasn't a tropical storm, and so it didn't even have a name. And it didn't get a lot of national coverage. But it dumped more than 3 times the amount of rain on parts of Louisiana than Hurricane Katrina did. And it damaged over 100,000 homes, including the homes of many of the employees who worked at some AD member companies. It's heartbreaking when you see that happen. Most working people of a working age in this country don't have more than a few $100s in savings. And it hurts when you see people who work in our companies or at a friend's company suffer. Well, the interesting thing that happened back in October was that one of our members who has branches in Louisiana, the Reynolds Company, also had a family foundation that was already in place that they were using as a vehicle for charitable giving. And so through their foundation, they were able to reach out to the industry, and they were able to ask for help, and they were able to legally make grants directly to the people in their company who experienced the most devastating losses. And I thought that was really cool, that a member had found a way to legally help the people who had the greatest needs. And I was glad to be one of those folks who wrote them a check. Their foundation made that possible. But how many AD members have foundations? There aren't many. Foundations are expensive to set up and to administer. They need to comply with all kinds of IRS regulations and state requirements. So we came up with an idea. Why not set up a foundation that our members and our suppliers can use, almost like it was your own foundation, so that when and if a disaster impacts the people in your company, you have a way to get them relief funds, and you have a way to ask others who are so inclined to contribute funds as well. And that is what we've done. We've set up a 501c3 charity called the AD Disaster Relief Foundation. And here's how it works. When a disaster strikes, we want you or someone from your company to go to our website. There's a button at the top right of that site that leads to a grant application that you can complete online or by a PDF that you can download. And we want you to quarterback the completion of that grant application for the people in your company We don't want to put those who've been struck by tragedy and loss to have to go through the trouble of having to fill that out. And that's mostly why we need your help. But also, we need your help to help us know who in your company is the most deserving and the true extent of the needs that your people have. Now, once we have the grant applications in and we validated that they meet some legitimate criteria, we're going to send out alerts to your fellow members and suppliers to let you know that there's a company with people that are in need. And for those of you that are so inclined, you'll be able to donate funds to meet those needs. You can send a check, you can use a credit card, and whatever you send, we're going to get to those companies and those people, and we're going to let them know who it came from. Because we have this set up as a 501c3, whatever you donate will be tax deductible. And we're working on a way for you to be able to send supplies, what they call in-kind donations, directly to a fellow member company for them to distribute, where you can also get a tax deduction for that as well. We can all be a bit cynical these days about charities and how much they spend on administration and fundraising compared to how much actually gets to the people that are in need. So let me cover that. My family and I are joyfully funding 100% of the operational and administrative costs of this foundation so that 100% of whatever you choose to donate will go directly to the people in the AD member and supplier companies that you want it to go to. Thank you. Thank you. And that's pretty much it. The adfoundation.com website is live as of just a few days ago. You could donate there right now if you're so inclined. Or you can wait until we send out the alerts that are surely coming from Hurricane Maria. We have 2 distributors down there, and Hurricane Harvey, we got a boatload of members and suppliers, and Irma too. This foundation wasn't created specifically for those disasters. We didn't know they were coming so quickly. But it's in place now, and it's going to be here for whatever occurs, whether it's here, the earthquakes in Mexico, a massive amount of snow falling in Canada, or whatever disasters you have there. Seems like a nice country. AD's tagline is, "Together we win." But together we also hurt. And so together we help. There are a lot of people in this world with serious needs, and we can't help them all. But we can help, at least some of them, recover some of their losses. We can help at least some of the people that work in our respective companies, the companies of our friends and our customers. And if we can, well, then we should. And so I do encourage you to donate whatever amount seems good to you. Donate it to this foundation or give it to another. But do something good for somebody. When I look around the world today, you know, I see so much confusion, division, and anger. I try and have a conversation with somebody about some issue of the day, and even with the slightest disagreement, it goes from 0 to Nazi in 60 seconds. It's a pretty combustible environment. And some people, even some in high stations, seem intent on throwing gasoline on the fire. If we want to educate people, it doesn't help to call them stupid. If you want to win people over, it doesn't help to call them losers. Yeah, I was young once too, and I had all sorts of things that I didn't understand. And you could have sat me down and talked to me until you were blue in the face, and it wouldn't have mattered, because I didn't want to listen. You can't make somebody listen to you. They got to want to. And the best way to get folks wanting to listen is not by lecturing them. It's by showing them a better way. See, we can show people in our countries that there's a lot more right about America, Canada, and Mexico than what's wrong. Not by what we say, but by what we do. We can show them by how we run our businesses, the way we do our jobs, the way we raise our children, the way we treat our coworkers, our friends, and our neighbors. We can show them by how we live our lives. And we aren't going to change everybody's mind about everything, and that's okay. But we can make a positive difference in the lives of some. And maybe, if enough of us do our own small part, we can bring a lot more along with us. And we can get a bit closer to being the kind of countries and the kind of people that we are destined to be. God bless you all. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being AD Strong.